Oh, yes, I think we are back. Welcome back to our second best of three of the day. We are now going to be spectating Super Copium against University of M. Brown, I believe. So we will today have Dinsbag's team versus Kingsline team. Very old rivalry, as we all know. So for now, since our good friends have left us, it is now me, Natural, and my friend Balon who has joined us, both for the analyst desk and for the cast. Balon, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. I'm doing well. How are you, Natural?
We're doing great. Now, this game is going to be spicy. I don't know if some of you guys have been here before, but there is definitely a bit of rivalry in between Dinsbag and Reese's PC's the top laner for the enemy team. Dinsbag proudly proclaimed that his Darius will be banned. He's sure of it. That Reese's PC's will be on tank duty and all of these things that we're hoping to see. Now, looking at some of these OPGGs, I just wanted to go through some of these power picks that both of these teams had with you, Balon, before we get into this draft. Trying to expect. Let's predict some of the bans here, for example. Now, a breedable rat, which I must say is a very questionable username. This guy plays pretty much only Twitch, so I think that we can start off with that. I believe Twitch will be banned.
Yes, I do believe his name alludes a bit to the fact that he plays a lot of Twitch, and his OPGG does show that he spams Twitch bot lane. So that ban will probably come out.
Absolutely. Do we have any other insights? Maybe looks like King's End is playing a lot of Nautilus recently. So maybe some kind of pick that goes with Nautilus. What do you think?
Nautilus, Kaisa, as you can see, he plays Nautilus and Leona, so a Kaisa pick would probably be a good pair. I'm not too sure if Breedable Rat plays a lot of Kaisa, but that would be a good combo between the two players. It proposes a very aggressive early lane.
Yeah, that is a very aggressive early lane, especially with that level 2. Usually works out pretty well if you have another diving comp. Another thing that I wanted to point out is on the side of the jungle, we have Jim Contor that plays a lot of a very special champion, Ivern. Uh, Ivern is not a champion that we see a lot of, but it seems like Jim has a very good success on this champion.
Yeah, and I believe that Ivan is a bit of a pocket pick. We haven't seen him played a lot this season, so we will see how Razzle Dazzle will be able to respond to that if that pick does come through. Ivan has a unique play style and he doesn't path like most junglers do, so you need a bit of experience of playing against Ivan to know how to counter him properly.
That's very true. Ivern does have a very particular type of style, especially when it comes to jungle pathing and all that. Because of his ability to pretty much instantly steal a camp, a lot of Iverns love to invade. I've
Yes.
seen a lot of blue star into just straight to the enemy red buff, just smite that down and just keep going. So with that being said, I believe both teams should be ready for a draft. So we're gonna start the draft as soon as possible. In the meantime, some other picks that we have to look out for on the side of um, King's Land Team Super Copium, Yone Yasuo on the mid laner. What do we think of these picks?
I believe they can be pretty aggressive and pretty oppressive if they're in the right hands, but it's a double-edged sword when it comes with Yone and Yasuo. They're melee champions in mid lane, so if you're against a bad matchup, you can be punished and you can be denied a lot of CS, a lot of experience. So it is really imperative that you know how to pilot those champions to be able to execute them effectively.
Very true. Could have said it better. Yasuo and Yone literally a double-edged sword.
Yep.
They're champions that can be easily pop off 1v5 and just as easily be pretty much useless. Though there is like the kind of this the League of Legends myth, the power of the ON10 power spike. That honestly, I don't know. Do you think the ON10 power spike is still a thing?
I do believe in it. I do believe in it.
Yeah.
I think that once you hit 0 and 10, the enemies instantly begin to underestimate you, and that is precisely when Yone and Yasuo shine. They're 0 and 10. They hit that 3 item mark, and they're ready to take over the game.
You know what? That's true. I will say from experience that does happen. You see this 0-7 Yasuo, you're like, oh come on, he's not gonna 1v1 me, is he? And then he
Boom,
does.
5-man knockup.
And there goes your solo queue game. No, but jokes aside, yeah, it's a very high variability champion, as I believe our good friend LS loves to say. The one thing that I'm looking forward to is maybe some adaptations in draft to counter like some of these high variability champions. Usually like the classic Yasuo counter pick that we've always talked about is Malzahar. Now I don't think the mid laner for the side of U of M Brown actually plays Malzahar. Quite honestly, looking at some of these OPGGs, they're looking pretty empty, so I'm not sure what's going on with that.
That's true.
But yeah, are you looking for any other picks? Maybe, not on any OPGGs, but just something that you want to see?
I've really been keeping my eye on Talia. I believe that the recent buffs have made her a really good mid laner and jungler, and the
Yep,
fact that she can flex between the two. Maybe if we see that come out, it'll be an interesting game. She hasn't been in the meta for quite a bit of time, so
that's very true.
it's nice to see her finally play it again.
I like seeing Talia again. I think she's fantastic right now. I actually didn't realize just how fantastic she was until Talia one-shot me. And then I was like, oh, wow, this champion is actually kind of good. But regardless, that being said, we're right into this draft. You can already see, of course, the famous Darius ban, just as Deansbag was saying. They're
The
scared.
Twitch
They're
ban.
scared. They're scared of the Darius. And, of course, Breedable Rat. Not going to be given his rat. So the
No
Soraka
longer
ban as
breedable.
well. No longer a Breedable Rat.
A fertile
Because
rat.
yeah, he's had some problems. But anyways, Super Copium taking away that Soraka as well. Super powerful champion this patch. Soraka with the recent buffs on her ultimate gonna be taken away. I like it. As well as the Ivern and now the Teemo being banned for some reason.
I have no problem with that. The Teemo ban, classic, takes us back to the season 4 days.
Mhm.
Never
True.
want to see that champion on the Rift. Keep him out as much as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. That being said, U of M Brown is going to take that Yone ban that we were talking about earlier. Now, again, we will say that we're not too sure like if there's any like substitutions or anything like that. So there might be some players that we actually haven't talked about yet, or some picks that we can't expect. But regardless, that being said, for now we're pretty spot on with the bans. I mean, we saw the Darius ban, we see the Twitch ban, the Yone ban, the Ivern ban that we were talking about. Super Copium looking to lock up this set. What do we think?
Set, I like it. It's a good first pick. Set has a bit of flexibility. He can go mid, he can go support if they so wish. But he is the strongest in top lane right now, I would say that.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah, good first pick.
completely agreed. Completely agreed. Set right now. He used to be like this absolutely absurd, like quadruple flex pick, top jungle support, mid lane, whatever, wherever you want him to be. But no, yeah, now definitely stronger in top lane. We've seen a lot of Gore Drinker set and the Xayah being considered but not picked. Okay, thank God. Tristana is going to be picked instead. Any thoughts?
I do like the Tristana pick. I believe that the later in the game that we'll go, she'll be able to create some space between the set, and with Buster's shot, she'll have more space, and that really stifles Set because he's the kind of champion that really likes to get into the face of the enemy.
That's very true. She does have that rocket jump and that buster shot to create some distance. The J4 being picked as well for the University of Manitoba Brown. I like J4. I think he's pretty good right now. He gets a skin soon, so he has to be good. Just kidding, but yeah. So with J4, usually, what do you want to see paired up with the J4?
An Orianna would be the classic move, Orianna J4.
Mm-hmm.
He has a lot of early game strength, and as we know, he rushes like Gore Drinker in a very strong position, and I believe that he's able to have a lot of impact on mid lane and bot lane.
True.
So maybe pairing him up with the Orianna, setting them up for the Wombo combo.
I like that idea. But talking about bot lane, we have Kog'Maw Lulu. Now, Kog'Maw is the only other champion that a breedable rat has like basically played this season. So I'm not too surprised. Cog Lulu is going to be pulled out. Now, the Cog Lulu combo, famous late game scaling combo. This guarantees that Super Copium will almost always inevitably be winning out in the late game. And in the meantime, we have Kane on the team of University of M. Brown.
Now you say that, but we have the Kayn, we have the Jarvan, we have the Tristana. That is a lot of engage potential. onto the Kog'Maw. That is a lot of pressure that the Kayn and the Jarvan can put on him. And without the flash, the Kog'Maw has no way of escaping the walls from the Jarvan ult.
That's true. And this is also a very good game for what item? Serpent's Fang.
Serpent's Fang, yes.
This is a perfect Serpent's Fang game here. Set with a massive shield. Kog'Maw, Lulu, of course. Classic super, like, OP shield busting if you get one of those Serpent Fangs. And we have a Kayn in the game. So.
Yes, Kayn is one of the champions who does have the option of going Serpent's Fang, depending on which form he does take. If he's Red Kayn, then he's less likely to take the lethality build, but if he goes Blue Kayn, he'll be choosing to assassinate, or he'll be building towards his assassin build, and that is when he would pick up the Serpent's Fang. So we'll have to see which direction he goes.
Very true. In the meantime, we do have our second round of bans being thrown out. Yasuo, Gnar on the side of UM Brown, LeBlanc and Blitzcrank on the side of Super Copium. And it looks like we're going to have a Victor pick on the side of UM Brown, and that is something that I was not expecting. What do we think of the Victor here?
I don't mind the Victor. I believe the Victor is a bit of a parallel to Orianna. He scales harder, and unlike Orianna, he has a bit of a problem with the range early game, but I think Victor scales harder, and he'll be able to maybe counter the Kog'Maw and make up for the weak late game that UF and Brown have right now.
Yeah, maybe a kind of a little bit of a insurance policy into that late game for UM Brown. Now, we have in draft a gray champion, so surprise champion. I don't know who it is. Maybe it looks like it's going to be, let's see.
Or is it Vex?
Pick was Camille. Okay, no. The pick was Camille. So okay, Camille set. Interesting. So one thing that we do have to talk about is lane assignment, because it's actually not that clear. On the side of Super Copium, we have Set, Kog'Maw, Lulu, Akali, and Camille. So I believe this means that we're having a Camille jungle.
It does look like the Camille jungle, and I've seen it before, but I don't know how confident I am in it. Camille,
Yeah.
I don't know if she has any bonus damage against minions, so I don't know if she's going to have an easy time farming or clearing the jungle, but she does have the hook shot. She does have her ultimate, which will allow her to set up the ganks. So we're going to see how that's going to play out.
Very true. And on the other hand side, we do have that J4. We have both J4 and Kayn and Jax. So how that's going to be split up is going to be interesting. I believe that it might actually be a J4 support with the Tristana. I actually lost sight of the draft, so I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, I believe it's J4 support. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Kieran. You wonderful soul. Yeah, so it looks like it's actually going to be Tristana, J4 bot lane, Jax top lane, and Kayn in the jungle?
Interesting.
Yeah, thoughts?
I don't know. This is a kind of a wild card team, and I think we were expecting some spicy picks, but this is something completely out of left field. We're going to see how this comp is just going to play out. I don't
Yeah.
think I've ever seen something like this before.
I've seen the J4 support before in LCK like once or twice maybe. It's pretty funny. I love it. I think it's hilarious. Basically, the whole game plan is that you have Airy, and then you have your flag, and you just abuse Airy and your flag combo because essentially it does damage to the enemies, and it also shields your allies for no reason because you have Airy.
And to those of you who don't know, Jarvan's flag, his E ability, does actually give AoE attack speed to his allies.
Yeah.
So
Which is the buffing point. Yeah.
That is why he's picked in the bot lane sometimes, and his Q does provide some armor shred that will be useful versus the set towards the late game.
Absolutely. So there are Jarvan for support isn't a completely like unheard of pick. It's just unorthodox. I think that's how I would characterize it. That being said, you're seeing these two teams. You're seeing these two compositions. If there were no nameplates, Milan, who are you betting on?
If there were no nameplates, I would honestly have to go with Super Copium, I think. I think that UFM Brown, their comp is a bit all over the place. It's hard to tell what part of the map they're going to be playing around. While Super Copium, it's much more straightforward. They've got that Wink on bot lane. They've got that Kog'Maw Lulu. They have an assassin Akali mid to take care of the Victor, and they've got the set to go in or to provide peel however they need it. The one thing I'm questioning is the Camille jungle, which I believe is going to be the wild factor, which could determine how this game goes.
Okay, I love to see it. Well, that being said, if you want my predictions, no nameplates, I'd probably also say Super Copium. And with nameplates, I'd probably also say Super Copium. So, yeah, we'll have to see about that. I like the composition that Super Copium has, Lulu Kog'Maw classic combo, as you said. Yeah, I don't have that much more to add. So, that being said, grab some snacks, grab some water, fix your posture, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to our first game of this best of 3 of Super Copium versus U of M Brown. Now, for now, screen is kind of dark, and now it's not. So, welcome back. Okay, and it looks like we actually first surprised right off the bat. It is the Set jungle instead of the Camille jungle.
Wow, okay.
That's a very interesting adaptation there. Before we talk a little bit more about these compositions and this level 1 invade, okay, never mind. I'm not going to have time to talk about our sponsor because this Jax might just be dead. The level 1 Counter-Strike, but is it enough? That's the question. No, it is not, and that's first blood going over to the Akali.
They took the fight straight to Din's bag. They knew they had beef and they knew they wanted to sort it early, and that's what they did. Akali was able to pick up that first blood,
That
and
is
that's a great pick early on.
That is an amazing pick early on. You can see that ruby crystal pop up in Akali's inventory. Just as you said, they knew they had beef with that guy, and they just went straight up to him and killed him level 1. Unlucky for him. Okay, before we have any more action, let me just quick shout out to our sponsors, Jack.org, Mental Health Institution, Super Cool, Powerland. They are giving us the prize of the actual monitors that we're getting at the end. Red Bull, of course. No Frills, of course. Brooklyn Bodega, of course. Sela Bean, thank you very much. That being said, it looks like Super Copium are actually going to go for a level 1 invade onto this blue buff.
They did, however, walk over a ward, so it looks like U of M Brown will know that they are taking the blue buff on this side of the map. So let's see if this will translate into vertical jungling. It's always exciting to see that.
Yeah, and it actually looks like we're going to have another assignment swap here. Akali going to the top lane instead of the mid lane. Now, what do we think about that?
I think I would have liked to see Akali in the mid lane. She picked up that ruby crystal. I think that bought her some survivability against the Victor. That would have been a good item. I think she would have had an easy time farming with her Q, farming with her E. I think the Camille will be punished a bit harder. So, okay. I'm not too sure how I feel about the lane swap.
Yep. I mean, there is to be said that Camille with the hook shot in mid lane, pretty powerful because you can close the gap pretty easily onto some mages. But here in the bot lane, we can see Kog'Maw Lulu already taking control at level 1. Now, one thing that I will mention is that, okay, here comes Din's bag. He has the counter-strike, but that's all that he really has for now. The shuriken flip going to be taken over. And Din's bag already taken quite low. The procer is procced, though. Now they're just going to walk away. But yeah, I was just going to mention the fact that in the bot lane we have G4 support actually taking Q level 1, which I'm not that much of a fan of. But okay, here comes the Kayn, and this Akali does not have flash. Remember, she's going to take the shuriken flip back to the minions, but that's only going to lead her back to her doom. One auto is all it takes, but okay, taken down very low. The ignite is ticking. Is it enough to take down Din's bag? No, it is not. Another trade kill by U of M Brown.
And the Jax was saved by the Triumph.
Yep.
The Ignite came out from the Akali, but the Triumph bought him just enough life to survive.
Very lucky there from Din's bag. Or calculated. Was it calculated?
True, true. And the playing field seems to have already evened up in top lane. The advantage was taken back, and the gold lead is even.
Yeah, completely even at this point in time. You can see the gold graph there popped up, our beautiful producer Karen. But yeah, no, the gold is pretty much completely even here across teams. We do see some split, some split of the map here. Both junglers opting to go onto the top side of the map, though. Of course, this set having done all of the bot side of Razzle Dazzle.
And double scuttle.
And double scuttle, so a pretty good advantage here taken by the set early on. Okay, and it looks like we might have a little bit of a skirmish here as well. Jim Cantori here, he has his bot lane to back him up. And will the damage be enough to actually take back control over this scuttle? The gravity field is down, so the Shuriken flip as well. Songtroop, he's taken down very low. The flash in from Jim Cantori, the EQ over the wall is going to save him. So University of Manitoba Brown get out scot-free, but again, it's Super Copium that are taking control.
Yeah, and they're winning these early fights, and they're getting this early map prio. As we said,
Hey,
Set
taken
was
down
able to.
very low. Sorry to cut you off there. Both okay. Both top laners gonna flash out. The W, the tactical sweep, not enough to take down Deansbag. Deansbag, he goes back in with the counter strike, and he takes the kill. Deansbag already back into this game.
Wow. And that Jax is going to be menacing for the rest of laning phase. I don't know how they're going to match him up on the top lane. He's got a solid CS lead. He got his wave to crash, and now he's backing to pick up his next item. He's going to be very formidable up there. Dinsbag.
Absolutely, he's gonna have definitely quite a bit of an advantage here. Especially considering that how he's taken down brutally at his level 1. Already working on his KDA there, working back up. Now that we have a tiny bit of a lead of Dinsbag, the question is, will he be able to push that lead any further? In the meantime, both junglers here in the bot lane. I think the thing that we're looking out here for Kayn is really the form and what form he's going to be taking. What do you think? Is there any form that you'd like to see here in this game?
I think that on blue side, the win con is in the Akali, the Lulu, the Kog'Maw. I believe that they are the crucial pieces for Super Copium to win. So I think that the blue Kayn is necessary to try and shut them down. I think that the blue Kayn will much more effective at killing those squishy targets.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Being that assassin that we all know and is extremely frustrating to play against because he essentially has a walk through walls, Hogwarts 7¾ platform type of hack. Yeah, in the mid lane we have some attention here over to this Akali, but yeah, this is just Kayn pretty much just farming his form here. But Akali is a melee champion, so that's not the form that we want, quote unquote. And here, University of Manitoba Brown being frozen on, actually. So a lot of control here already into this game of Malulu.
Yeah. And this free XP, all these little small leads are really valuable for Super Copium. All this Kog'Maw wants is to sit and scale calmly. He doesn't want to die. He just wants to get that goal, to get that XP so he can carry in the late game.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself. Kog'Maw definitely one of those champions that just is totally okay. It's just nothing happening really. I mean, the thing about Kog'Maw is that because of his passive, he can trade 1-for-1 pretty easily. It's kind of his entire game plan, right? It's if you die for him, he trades 1-for-1, and if not, he's just gonna sit there and farm. Talking about that, there's Akali not level 6 yet. No flash. Dinsbag coming in with the counter strike hot, and the damage is going to be enough. Dinsbag, thumbs up, 3-1.
Imagine if he had a real weapon. That's all I've got to say.
Indeed, I mean, he's already on a rampage here. 3-1 for Dinsbag. I guess the flame was well thought out. Do you think it was valid flame?
I do think so. He's really putting on a show for us in the early game right now. And Jax does not lose a lot of power in the late game. Some would say he even gets stronger. Against the Camille, it's hard to tell because Camille is a late game champion herself. But yeah, Jax is setting himself up to have a really strong game. Dinsbag keeping it up in the top lane.
Absolutely, he's showing us why he is to be feared on that Jax. Of course, his poor Darius got banned. But regardless of that, yeah, it looks like for now a lot of attention being put towards the top and mid side. Not that much action on the bot side at all. I guess Lulu kind of being that equalizer. One thing that we do have to mention is I love the lane control here from Super Copium's bot lane. They know that the Tristana has to push in the wave, so they are just permanently freezing this wave. And then with the range advantage that they do have on the Jarvan support, they're just kind of poking them out, not letting them farm too well.
And we can see this translated in the CS lead. A good 25 CS gap on the Kog'Maw. That is really impressive in the early lane, especially considering how oppressive Jarvan and Tristana are supposed to be. as we can see, the Tristana picked up the Relic Shield, and she knows that she's not going to be poking the Tristana.
Here comes the gang. Dinsbag here. He's going in a 1v2 situation. He's going to jump onto the minions. The Hextech Ultimatum is down. Is the damage enough is my question. Yes, it is. Shutdown going over to the Camille.
And that is a really big shutdown for the Camille. Hopefully she's able to claw her way back into the game, equalize the field.
Yeah, and this is just the start, but here comes Razzle Dazzle on this Kayn. Does he get the ultimate off is my question. Yes, he does. Flash in for that extra range of the W on the exit to get the kill. Now, can he do anything more to this set? No, he can't. Good dodge onto the W, the Haymaker, but that's all that there's going to be for now. Victor also roaming actually here in the top lane, but there's nothing to be found. So that's kind of a bit of a wasted opportunity there, but regardless, that's going to be a 1-for-1 overall.
Yep, that was really good by Razzle Dazzle. He was able to soak up the XP from the crashing wave on top lane. He was able to get that 1-for-1 against the Camille, and that is just an overall good trade. The shutdown did, however, go over, so we'll see how Camille makes use of that extra gold.
Definitely hoping that there's some kind of extra gold there over to Camille somehow helps her in this 1v1. Now, I'm not too sure how this 1v1 goes on into the later stages of the game, but for now, it is definitely Dean's bag still with the gold advantage. As you can see, he has that extra Ruby Crystal and boots compared to the magical boots. Dean's bag here, he's going aggressive again, but yeah, Jim Katoria is here. He's going to have to flash away from the okay, Akali going back in and just eating another Q to the face. That's a lot of damage. Dinsbag, he may be dead twice, but he does still a lot of damage.
That Sheen proc still hurts in the early game. And I believe that in the Camille and Jax matchup, the hook shot and the counter strike are really the important abilities to keep your eye out. Some would say the hook shot is Camille's most important ability, and Jax, the counter strike, is the most important ability, as they're able to set themselves up for different plays.
Yep. And here comes the dragon. Here comes the fight. Dragon is down very, very low, but there's no smite. Here it comes. Razzle Dazzle able to secure it. Now Dean's bag already going down. So many kills going back and forth here, but it's University of Manitoba Brown that come out on top, claiming both the dragon and a 2-for-1.
And with the Mountain Soul,
now nope, I was wrong. It was just one kill. Sorry. Yeah, it's a 1-for-1. Reese's Pieces was up in that top lane, still split pushing. So he gets the plates. That is something.
That is a trade, but the 2 dragon advantage is going to start putting pressure on Super Copium. They have to start worrying about the looming soul point that might be going.
Jim Cantori here, he's in a 1v2 situation, but they're just delaying. They're delaying for the Akali here. And now Seanstrom, he might be in a very difficult position. The ultimate isn't available yet, but the movement speed should be more than enough. The teleport coming in just to secure it. It was cancelled. But it doesn't matter. The kill will still go over to the Akali. Now Razzle Dazzle, he's in a bit of a precarious spot as well, actually. He's going to get caught up by the E. The ultimate going to be used to dodge out on that Haymaker, but the damage isn't enough. There's a Lulu here, and that's just going to be Kayn just giving away a death for free for Super Copium.
Really good dodge there. Dodging the Haymaker, but not enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, the idea is good, but unfortunately there's just too many people. The numbers advantage is just on the side of Super Copium there, and they managed to get back into this game. Not only that, but now they actually have the advantage in gold. As Sancho, he has to be very careful. The damage is very consequent, and Breedable Rat just taking another kill for himself.
Wow, and all of those plates going into Kog'Maw's hands, all of that extra gold will be very, very beneficial for him.
For sure. It is, it's an incredible amount of gold, especially on the Kog'Maw here. Din's back here, still going just as aggressive as ever. Using that counter strike to cancel the hook shot is exactly what you want to be doing. Razzle Dazzle here, he's in the ball side. But again, there isn't that much damage. Okay, so we actually do see that Kayn went for red Kayn instead of blue Kayn. Now, we did say that we mentioned that the blue Kayn is better, but it will be the red Kayn. I guess it's all right. I mean, you do have 3 melee champions, so you can I guess play around that.
Yes, true. He did have a lot of fights with melee champions in the early game, so maybe he wanted to get his form fast and have an impact on the map. It seems that the early game lead that University, the UMB had, is slipping, and the Super Copium is able to find some kills back. And now they have a bit of a gold lead, 2,000 gold.
Yep.
Compared to the 2 dragons on UMB.
It's not absolutely massive, but it's definitely something. As a lot of that gold is definitely in the bot lane here. Absolutely massive gold difference here in between the AD carries, mostly just in farm. As you can see, yeah, it's like 1k, 2k something. I can't do math. Yeah, it's like 1.5k. It's an absolute CS gap here in the bot side, and you can see it reflected in the items already. Bork, first item actually for the Kog'Maw. What do we think of that itemization?
That is really aggressive. I think Bork is an aggressive item to take early on. It gives him that lifesteal, so he's able to sustain properly, stay in lane for as long as possible, get as much gold, and even further his lead. And it's working out successfully, as we can see. 60 CS gap.
Yeah, for now, but recently here in the top side, we have a fight over this Herald. The Shuriken flip is going to miss. Jim Cantori is already taken low, and there's no W available for him. So he's going to go down. The shutdown goes over to Razzle Dazzle, but the Victor is also taken back. Dinsback, he's so low, and he is going to die. But, okay, Razzle Dazzle manages to actually take the Rift Herald, and the Shuriken flip is going to be taken. Yes, it is. Both champions storming over the wall. Here on the bot side, Pastel Ruby is just going to die. There's no way out for you, my friend. This 1 HP, all it takes is one auto. Yep. Goodbye. Razzle Dazzle here in the top lane. He's still fighting Drain Tank to Drain Tank, and here is our replay. What do we think of this play, Blog?
I think that UMB maybe got a bit overambitious for this Herald. The plates are down. I don't think this is a very good fight for them. And they just overextended, and they fought for an objective that I don't think they could have fought against.
Yeah, that's very true. They end up giving away their lives, and actually, Razzle Dazzle, while we were on that replay, going down as well. That's a big one. If Razzle Dazzle stays alive there and manages to like just get some farm, I'd be okay with it. But that's definitely something that you don't want to see. As Dinsback here, he's trying to chase down this Akali, but remember, it is an Akali, very mobile, but no ult and no flash. So, not mobile enough. As yeah, you're gonna put your shroud down, but the stun comes through. Trying to outplay some fools, going actually into the top lane brush. Back into... No way. There's no way this worked. The Shuriken flip. The E gives vision. Oh, no!
She gets out.
No way! There's no way that works. How does that ever work?
What a play.
That is absolutely insane.
What a slippery play from the Akali, using the Shuriken to back into the alcove, but then TPing straight out. The Jarvan didn't think about queuing in time. Didn't cancel. Very impressive play from the Akali. Great movement.
I mean, that is some fancy feat if I've ever seen some. What an outplay. Absolutely mind-controlling both Dinsbag and Sean into... I mean, they knew they were there, and the Jarvan Q was just slightly too late. There was just not enough damage. That is a play that I love to see. Very, very ballsy and still works. And now we have a 2v2 in the top lane. Sean is already taken low. The Cataclysm is used, but the Akali takes him down. And now Din's back. He's by himself. Here comes the reinforcement of Razzle Dazzle. The second part of the ultimate from Akali already used, but the Drain Tank is pretty strong. Reese's Pieces now. He's taken down very low. Is he going to be taken down by the ultimate? Yes, he will. The Q out, but now he has nowhere to go. And it's a 2-for-1.
It's a good play coming out from Super Copium. They're able to get that 1-for-1, or was it 2-for-1? 2-for-1.
For one, yeah. With Sean getting taken down earlier during that fight. So yeah, they're just taking over this game bit by bit. You know, they were just slightly further behind, and now the game is kind of slowing down, and Super Copium is just taking an inch and an inch and an inch here, an inch there, and now you have a 203 Kog'Maw with absolutely absurd items, 2 items already, but no mythic yet.
And I think with the scaling...
Oh, Dinsbag is dead.
Dinsbag is dead.
That was quick.
What I wanted to say with the scaling that's going on right now, I do think that UMB really need to start shifting their attention towards the bot side. I think they should start trying to stack the dragons. They gave up that first mountain drake, which I don't think was the right place to do.
Okay, and yeah, well,
Wow.
that's an incredible play from that Akali once again, absolutely popping off the fancy feet. Incredible movement from this Akali, basically dodging out on most skill shots and using her Shuriken flip as well as her ultimate to perfection. And here in the bot side, we have Sean True. He's gonna have to flash away. Oh no, the EQ combo missed. Yeah, now you're just dead, my bud. As Pastel Ruby here on the Tristana, he's in danger as well. He's gonna use the Buster Shot to get away, but the hook shot is still there. Dinsbag here, he's protecting his Tristana. What a White Knight, as amazing protector here, but the Lulu is there as well. He's going down a little too far, and now Reese's Pieces, you're caught in the baby cage. What are you gonna do? Not much. Kog'Maw takes the kill.
A good pickup there. They're pushing UMB back into their base. They're fighting for every kill. And they're not letting Razzle Dazzle farm his own jungle, shutting the Kayn down, pushing him back. And
Absolutely.
with the Assassin weak on UMB's side, I don't know how they're going to kill this Kog'Maw, especially with Lulu guarding his side.
That's a very good question. How will they kill this Kog'Maw? I'm not sure if they can. Reese's Pieces here, he's caught in a 1v1 against Razzle Dazzle. Razzle Dazzle, still pretty strong. Equal level. He does have the ultimate. He dodges on the hookshot, the W, the Q in, the ultimate being used. And yeah, that's just a kill for Razzle Dazzle. Extremely well played on that 1v1
Good
there.
1v1.
Yep, but here comes the Akali. The action just never stops as, okay,
Next
sure can flip
challenger.
over the wall, but not gonna hit, actually. Okay, but they're still going here. The Q, she knows that the Kayn is right over the wall. And now caught in between a rock and a hard place, maybe? Or maybe this was all planned. Pass the Ruby. There's no way. There's no way, right? Oh, it connects. And that is just so much damage. Absolutely insane. The first part of the ultimate is enough to take it off. And now, yeah, caught again in a 1v3 situation.
Whoa!
There's no way! What does the champion not do? Invisible does so much damage. It's gonna finally be taken down. Absolute massacre coming in from the Akali.
This Akali, she was able to have so much impact on the map from the start of the game, and it just does not stop. Kill by kill, play by play, she's taking over the game.
And now this Kog'Maw is unleashed. We're already into the late game, ladies and gentlemen. Deansbag, he's coming over. Razzle Dazzle managed to find a kill on the set that went a little too far. But here comes Reese's Pieces. He is here to equalize the score. The Hextech ultimatum will be used. Dinsbag, he gets on top of the Kog'Maw, but the flash away as well as the ultimate is used. He's going to survive for another time. And now at Kingsland, he's caught a little bit close to Deansbag. The bomb on top of his head. But no CC to come through, and now Dinsbag, he's trying to go as far as possible on the King's Lap, but now they're caught in between this wall. Okay, the one for you, the Victor, coming in. Reese's Pieces. He's going to be taken down from Razzle Dazzle, and that's a very nice pickup right before the Drake. Can they capitalize on this Drake?
I do think they should try. And those are the kinds of fights that UMB want to take. They want chaos. They want to scramble Super Copium all over so they can get those picks. They've got the Kayn, they've got the Jack Stun, the Rocket Jump, the Jarvan. They just need to find those picks and pick apart the Super Copium's back to front team comp.
Absolutely agree there, and they managed to find the Drake. Now this is the turning point of the game, ladies and gentlemen. In 4 minutes and 45 seconds, that Mountain Soul is what will decide the game. Mountain Soul, extremely potent soul, perhaps the strongest soul in the game overall. Especially when you're playing into an Akali that is this fed, having that extra magic resist is undeniably so important.
I would have to agree that that flat shield and that base armor and magic resist would help out a lot against the assassin. And I believe that will be the turning point in the game. That will be the fight that both teams will be preparing for in 4 minutes.
Absolutely, it is the fight of this game. If there's any time to pay attention, is going to be during that next dragon fight. In the meantime, we have just a tiny little bit of a lull in action. It's difficult, you know. The University of Manitoba Brown, their bot lane is really getting outpaced here. Breedable Rat going for the no mythic challenge. Honestly, I like it. Kog'Maw does have this build where he just doesn't take a mythic and instead goes like almost full tank right after he takes Wit's End. A bit of a hybrid. I think it's a bit of a personal build, and I like it. I like to see it. I don't know what you think about it.
I do like it too. I don't think there's a lot of mythics that...
Hey, but in the meantime, Reese's Pieces is caught into 1v2, trying to find some damage here. But Sean Trim and Razzle Dazzle, they're so good at draining these tanks out, or this Camille out, would I say. Reese's Pieces is going to use the hookshot to get out, but in the meantime, Breedable Rat, he's just taking over the game in the base already. He's going forward, he's taking down one kill. The Victor does so much damage, but it's not enough to take down the Lulu ultimate and Kog'Maw. Now, yeah, they're still going. It looks like they want to keep pushing, but again, there's too much wave clear from this Victor. They're just gonna walk away for now.
And the mid inhib has been dropped. And that poses the question, are Super Copium gonna try and go for the Baron? They've got the Kog'Maw, they've got the Lulu, they can take that Baron really fast. And I think if they take the Baron, they risk taking the Baron, they will put themselves in a very good position to set themselves up for the Dragon that's spawning in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, you could also say that with that Baron, you could probably also end the game. It's University of Manitoba Brown is in a very precarious spot right now. One team fight and is all it takes with that open inhibitor. Okay, the hookshot is going to be taken over the wall. Jim Contori is trying to find some kind of CC here, and they do find Razzle Dazzle, but remember, that's not the person that you want to take the one for you. He takes one kill. That is a massive set W. The Akali in the backline. The Shuriken flip hits on the Victor. The perfect execution takes him down in the backline. Razzle Dazzle, he's 1v3. He's taking up so much damage. That's a double kill already for the Akali. The Shuriken flip hits, and that's a triple kill for the Akali. Razzle Dazzle, the only one alive. He's going to be run down. A W is good. A Q is good. But is it good enough? I don't think so. The team of Super Copium absolutely running down this base. Beautiful performance from the Akali and the Kog'Maw.
And as we can see in the replay here, Razzle Dazzle tries to go for the backline, but there's no one to stop the Akali from going in, takes out the Victor, and then fights the Tristana. Not enough damage from the Tristana to secure her in her shroud. And Akali has no problem tower diving at this point in the game. No longer squishy, she has that Rift Maker, and the game ends right there. Super Copium take their first win.
Slow clap. I don't know what else to say. That performance on that Akali, absolutely insane. This is what you hate to see when you're playing solo queue or Akalis like that. I'll tell you that. I will say I think the Akali pick was like interesting. I don't know. The Akali pick worked out so well that I can't criticize it at all because it just played out so well. There was so much good plays all over the map. That one TP play was absolutely insane. The execution on the Akali was perfect. No pun intended. I will say that the Kayn worked. I think it was the only saving grace. It did well, but it just didn't do well enough. I think the bot lane, maybe the bot lane is where it all broke out. What do you think?
I would have to agree there, but I do need to point out that this is no ordinary Akali. We saw the moves. This isn't just your run-of-the-mill solo queue. She demonstrated she's capable of pulling out the plays, the high-level plays, the outplays, and putting on pressure all around the map. So I do think it was an effective pick overall. The bot lane, however, as you mentioned, is where UMB were stifled. The Kog'Maw was able to farm freely, and the Kayn was not able to have an impact on bot lane to stop him from doing that, and the pressure was just unsurmountable for UMB.
Very true. We'll throw it back to the analyst desk, which is actually both of us again. So we're just throwing it back to ourselves. We are the analyst desk now.
Gonna switch hats real fast.
Yeah, exactly. I'll go grab my Red Bull. It's in the fridge now. I'm just kidding. I'll do that later. No, but yeah, what a game. I mean, it's absolutely insane. I think there's a lot to talk about, but I really do believe that the main focus of this game was for sure this bot lane. The Kog'Maw Lulu played perfectly. I mean, as a bot lane, I mean, I have to give respect to the absolute state of the macro down in that bot side. Beautiful plays from the Kog'Maw. Using the matchup knowledge that they had perfectly, they knew that the Tristana was going to push into their lane and that all they could just freeze and just sit there and farm. And that's what they did. And they did it perfectly.
That's true, yeah. And I would like to have seen the Kayn Razzle Dazzle walk down the bot lane and maybe not even gank, but help break some of the freezes that Super Copium had against the bot side. I think even just by breaking those freezes, it would have freed up a bit of space in the bot lane and maybe even given some prio to the Tristan and to the Jarvan to roam and have impact on the lower side. Maybe they would have been able to pick up an extra Drake and set themselves up, got on the soul. Because as we know, they lost that single Drake earlier on in the game, and they were unable to get that soul secured, and they lost.
That's very true. That's very true. If there was just one extra Drake, then maybe the tide of the game changes. One thing I will mention that I noticed on into the earlier parts of the game, Jarvan support taking Q at level 1. I'm not a fan. Usually when you have Jarvan support and you have Airy, you're taking E at level 1 and you're just spamming. You're spamming E on top of the head of the enemy AD carry and you're just putting damage down. But what ended up happening is that they Jarvan took Q level 1 and ended up essentially giving up level 1 lead because when you only have Q, first of all, you don't do that much damage. You don't do damage at all, in fact, and you're completely outranged. So the level 1 was kind of a disaster, and it kind of made them lose control of their lane even further. And then it just kind of derailed, but we can't talk about this game without talking about Dinsbag and, you know, his very aggressive plays. I think it was like such an interesting style of play where somehow he seems to always get the upper hand in the 1v1, but because he's so greedy for that 1v1, he does end up being taken down quite a few times.
Yeah. And we saw Super Copium respond to that. They had a few members on the top side in the early game, and they were able to capitalize on Dinsbag's greediness.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty much all there is to say, really. Dinsbag wanting to prove himself, and he did prove himself. I think at the beginning of that game, he did really well. But unfortunately, the macro control maybe is not as good. Unfortunately, but still, I am going to give my honorable mentions over to. I think Kane played pretty well. It was a valiant effort in the mid lane. Not that much action. It was just really the Akali show, honestly, during most of the game. So yeah, props to the Akali. I think if I had to give some kind of MVP vote here, it would probably go over to that Akali. Beautiful play. I don't know if you have an MVP vote.
I would have to give it over to the Akali as well. Those moves, how could I not?
I
Some
know
really
it's so
impressive movement.
flashy, so cool. You know, you hate to play against it, but when you see it, you're like, oh goddamn! You know, it's spicy. And that being said, that was our first game. This is a best of 3. So yeah, we'll be back with some more League of Legends with some more spicy matchups. In the meantime, you know, hydrate yourself, take a posture check, whatever you'd like.
We'll see
Uh,
you in a bit.
yeah, we'll see you in a bit. Regardless of our thoughts on how last game went, we are now in game 2. Looks like we're just going to be getting straight into draft on this one. U of M Brown now on the blue side, Super Copium on the red side. Are there any adaptations that you want to see here, Balon?
Wow, my eye is now on the Akali van. I don't know if UMB will want to let that pick through. That Akali looked really menacing last game. So we'll see how UMB respond to that.
I agree. That Akali could not have looked any more menacing if she tried. But regardless of that, it is going to be the Twitch, of course, is going to be banned, of course. I said, of course, twice, but that's okay. Now I said it thrice. For Rat Breeder, or whatever his awful username was, as well as Lulu.
Breedable rat.
Breedable Rat, that one. As well as Lulu and Karma being banned. So, okay, we're taking off scaling off the board. We're taking off enchanters off the board, and on the side of Super Copium, we still don't want to see Dinsbag as Darius. Boo. As well as Soraka and their last ban. Who will it be?
Taking a bit of time thinking about it.
Yep. I'm gonna guess.
Maybe they want to take away the Kane from Razzle Dazzle, but
Oh,
no,
it's
it's
gonna
the
be
set.
set. Interesting. Okay.
So they
What do we
played
think
it
of that?
last game, but they're taking it out of UMB's hands this game.
I guess they're expecting like a set first pick, and that's why.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what's going on. They're like, yeah, we first picked it last time, so it went well, and now we know that they want to first pick it, so we'll just ban it, I guess. Or is there like a specific champion that they might have in mind? Not sure, but it is going to be the Echo first pick on UFM Brown. Now, I know we have some thoughts on Echo already. What do you think of the Echo?
I think Echo is a good solo queue champion. I think he's slippery. He goes in, he gets a pick, and he gets out. In a coordinated team, yeah, he's less effective. Obviously, if you have vision, you're able to see him coming. He doesn't have as much wave clear as he used to, and he can get punished for it earlier on. As we know, Echo is a scaling champion. he does feel strong in the early game to some people, but he is actually a scaling champion. So if they do let him scale, he will be very threatening.
Very true. But on the other hand side of the game, we have the Yone and the Lilia. Now, those are some
Ah,
spicy picks. I love Yone. I love Lilia. They're so flashy. They're so cool. New skin, by the way. That's pretty cool. But yeah, you're a Lilia aficionado yourself. Do you have any thoughts on the Lilia here?
I do like the Lilia. I think Lilia is a good pick. Echo, he has a hard time sticking on the Lilia. He can use his E and he can use his Q, but Lilia, she can create distance from him, and I think that's really powerful from her, as she has that extra mobility from her Q, and she was given a bit of more sustain in the jungle over the last few patches, so she'll be less worried about Echo invading and killing him earlier on in the game.
Very true. Couldn't have said it better myself, as we have the Tristana and the Silas on the other side of the rift being picked. Now, Tristana, same pick as before. Kind of like the stable, all-in, scaling, somewhat Tristana AD carry champion. But Silas, now that's a spicy pick that I haven't seen in a while. Silas isn't that great anymore right now. Now the thing is, there are some. Silas mainly depends on the ultimates that he has to steal, and for now, he has some two pretty decent ultimates. He has the Yone ultimate, the Lily ultimate, the Caitlyn ultimate, not that great. As yeah, the Caitlyn is going to be the last pick for Super Copium in this first phase.
One thing I would have to say is that Silas, for him taking the ultimates is not that straightforward. I think that the Lilia ultimate stealing it poses a bit of challenges because he has to apply the passive when he's stealing the Lilia ultimate. And with Caitlyn taking the Kate ult, maybe it'll be awkward. It's not as powerful. The Yone, however, I think that if he takes the Yone ultimate and he roams bot lane, roams top lane, he could have impact with that.
That's true. The Yone ultimate is the one ultimate that right now I can't see working out very well. Usually, Silas is usually like an answer to usually TF, where you can steal that, ultimate and roam with the TF. Regardless, it is going to be the Silas, and now in our last band phase, we have Nautilus on the side of U of M Brown, Blitz, and Aurelia on the side of Sewer Copium, and the last band will be the Seraphine.
And it looks like Super Copium really do not want that Blitzcrank to come through. They banned it last game and they banned it this game. They're really
Uh,
worried about those hooks.
They're really worried about those hooks. I believe, yeah, Sean Shroom, the support for U of M Brown, does play quite a lot of Blitzcrank. So I guess that's why they're worried about it. I understand, the thought process behind it, but I wouldn't be too scared, honestly, of a Blitzcrank, just a random Blitzcrank like that. But regardless, it is going to be the Bard for Super Copium. Now, here is the thing. They have very solid team fighting here on Super Copium's side. We have the Lilia Sleep, the Bard R, and then you just can combo it all together with the Yone. One pick I wish we saw is the MF. They have such a good comp for an MF here on Super Copium's side, and it was left open. But it just looks like it's not going to be the pick, and U of M Brown going to go for the Leona as well as potentially an Ornn.
And if some of you don't know, Lilia's ultimate, the lullaby that puts enemies to sleep, the MF ultimate does not trigger and pop the passive, so she's able to get the whole bullet time off without waking anyone up, and that is a really scary combo, as MF's bullet time does count as a DOT.
Yeah, which is an interesting fact that it seems kind of insane. Like why would that interaction be possible? But it is. It's possible. Lilia, you're right that Lilia's R is not cancelled by the MF ultimate because it's technically damage over time. Regardless of that, we now have the full composition on each side. Super Copium going for Yone, Lilia, Caitlyn, Bard, and Jarvan, while U of M Brown opting for the Echo, Tristana, Silas, Leona, Wukong. Let's talk a little bit of about some lane assignment here. What do we think?
I am wondering where the Jarvan is going. It looks like it's going to be a Jarvan top, it seems,
Yeah,
not the
that's
Jarvan jungle.
what I'm thinking as well. Unless it's a Lilia top lane instead.
I am a fan of solo lane Lilia. When Lilia first came out as a champion, I used to play solo lane Lilia as she was able to clear waves really fast and then utilize the movement speed that she gets from her Qs to dash around the map and have impact in mid lane or bot lane, depending on which lane she's played. But her Q damage to lane minions was reduced by 20%, so she is less effective in solo lanes now. So we will see if it does go into solo lane or if it's just going to be a top lane Jarvan.
Yeah, we'll have to see. On the side of UM Brown, it's definitely a lot more obvious. We have the Wukong in the top lane. Actually, it's not that obvious. Is it either Silas or Echo in the jungle? Interesting. I'm not sure. I
would
don't
have
think.
to go with the Echo.
Yeah, I'll assume it's the Echo. But the Silas jungle is possible. Anything is possible, honestly, with Deansbag's team. These guys are very creative in what they pick. But regardless of that, nameplates aside, Belong, we're going to do the same thing as last game. Do you have any favorites here?
To go with Super Copium again, the red side team. I am not too. I don't have a lot of faith in the Stylus right now. I don't know which ultimates he can steal and how he can have an impact on the map. The Echo's gonna have a hard time scaling, especially with the aggressive nature of Jarvan and Bard, who are going to be running around all over the map and posing a threat to him.
That's very true. I am of the same opinion. I am kind of confused by the Silas pick. I don't know if it was necessary. I feel like Super Copium just has like such a strong team fight slash skirmishing composition where they just kind of run around and skill check their opponents and just kill them altogether. I would agree. I would have to go with Super Copium, and of course, Super Copium having shown us what they can do last game. That mid laner on Akali, absolutely disgusting. I forgot his name, his IGN, but now he's on the Yone, and I think it just gets nastier, doesn't it?
It does, definitely. From one ninja to the next.
From one weeb champion to the next, this guy is just a master of weebs. So yeah. Waiting, of course, on our spectator delay. You have the two team compositions. You have, the casters bets. Who are you betting on? Think about it. Take a break. Take some water. Get your posture fixed. We'll be right back. And welcome back to our second and potential final game of this best of three. Just a reminder that we are looking at Super Copium versus University of M. Brown, Kingsland versus Dinsbag. This is the title of tonight. First game was taken over by Super Copium, were absolutely beautiful plays by this Akali that is now on this Yone. We are looking at, so it was indeed a jungle Lilia and a top lane Jarvan.
Yep.
As
And
well as the
yes,
Echo in the jungle, yeah.
Super Copium came in hot in game 1. They got that invade at level 1, and then they're able to win the game.
Such a
Now,
beautiful performance, honestly.
now they're on red side, and we'll see how they're going to be able to do. A bit of action in the river.
Yep, looks like Deansbag, he wants to take this level 1 against Reese's Pieces. Rubicon, of course, very powerful level 1, but he does have the Corrupting Pots, which is usually not the best at the first level. Deansbag gonna get his back cancelled here by Jim. Okay, yeah, they're really going aggressively here to try and cancel his back. I think maybe Deansbag is baiting for something, but there's really not much going on. He's just gonna lose some minions if he keeps doing this. Yep, there goes the E, and back is cancelled. Being very cocky, not sure that's exactly what you want to do. Reese's Pieces is going to lose some HP, and Disback is actually going to go in, but the damage, the Lilia is there. Yeah, all it takes is one more auto. Reese's Pieces is taken down very low as well. He's going to have to flash Jim. Watch out, he does have his flash still available to him. Will he go for Dinsbag? It looks like he's greeting for him super hard, but there is no flash. Okay, he's going to flash out of the way with the smite. No, Dinsbag flashes in, but he goes onto the blast plant instead. What a fiesta of a game.
Looks like both of these teams really love their level 1 scraps, and they're still in
Going.
the topside jungle.
Razzle Dazzle now, he's level 2 because of the wolves, and he has that Q coming back. He's gonna take the first blood. Jim Cantori, he's stuck. He doesn't have the flash. He doesn't have the smite. What are you gonna do? Trying to run away is not gonna work, and Razzle Dazzle taking up the double kill.
Now,
and the bot side again,
lane.
we have more action. Breedable Red taking over another kill. Beautiful Q from a King's Lad, and it's not over yet. This Yone, level 2, looking for the blue. Is he going to find Razzle Dazzle? Yes, he will. Flash Q shut down, and he might just be able to take the blue buff as well.
What is happening right now? The 2.5-minute shutdown going to the Yone. He has the 10 CS advantage, and he's going back to lane with blue buff. Dinsbag is sitting at half HP, a level down in topside. I don't know what to say, Natural. What a start to the game.
I don't know what to say either. I'm stuttering on my words here. It looks like we have even more fighting here. Dinsbag, he's very aggressive, but he just doesn't have the hit points to contest. And after all of that, let's take a breath. Let's take a look at the game state. It looks like Super Copium are ahead now by like a very decent amount. 800 gold, basically 700 gold right there during that first invade. What we thought was going to be an excellent start for University of Manitoba Brown turned it to the favor of Super Copium, mostly because of that excellent play from the Yone there.
Yeah, he was able to get that shutdown, and 800 gold may not seem a lot, but at 3 minutes, that is 2 Doran's items. That is 2 Doran's rings or 2 Doran's shields, and that early advantage can translate into even bigger leads in the earlier to mid game.
Absolutely, and Razzle Dazzle here took the Scuttle Crab. His E is on cooldown, so he has to be careful. He's trying to dodge away on some skill shots, waiting for that E, and there you go. Yep, he has it. Yone not having that Q is not going to be able to, but Dinsbag here, he's getting dove. Going to use the substitution, but it's not enough. Jim, he's going to take another tower shot, so it's going to be a 1-for-1 up in the top lane, but the action still going on here. The Yone is already dead. We didn't see him go down, but here comes the Kingsland, and he's dead as well. Razzle Dazzle taking control of this game, and University of Manitoba striking back.
And what a pace. 2 kills per minute so far.
Yeah, talk about an explosive start to the game. I don't think it can get any more spicy than this.
Yep, I think UMB was upset about last game, and they really want to start the bloodshed early. They really want to take it to Super Copium and get those early kills.
I love it. I love it. This is the exact opposite of usually what we see from teams. They get smacked in Team 1, and then they just kind of lie back down with their backs onto the floor. But instead, University of Manitoba is standing up, trading punch for punch. And I love to see what Razzle Dazzle is doing. He's playing so loose. He's going in and out of lanes. He's playing aggressive. He's baiting people. And it's playing into his favor for now. But still, it's still a very even game state, despite the 2 kills advantage for the University of Manitoba, just because of the CS. And here comes the Kingsland with that portal. Yeah, Pastor Ruby just going to rocket jump out of there.
Good rocket jump to safety. He got the wave out. He can recall, reset, get an item, and then run back to lane and hopefully catch the wave before it crashes into his turret. Now, the Echo. 3 kills at 5 minutes versus the Lilius 1. I think that if Razzle Dazzle plays this game correctly, he can really run away with this early game lead.
Absolutely, that is something that we have to watch out for. But here in the mid lane, very heavy trading as well as in the top lane. Raises species, he goes for the EQ onto the clone. Perfect timing there for Dinsbag is going to be able to take the better of that trade. Here in the mid lane now, the Yone is level 6, but here comes Razzle Dazzle to secure the wave, but it's becoming a 2v2. Dark Harvest is going to be able to take just a little more HP here. And with that level 6 from the Yone, University of Manitoba Brown are a little scared. And here comes the E, here comes the R. Nope, the ultimate's still not used actually from the Yone. The damage is good from Razzle Dazzle. Here comes the ultimate. Finally, Razzle Dazzle has to flash out of the way. And with no ultimate being available, the Q misses the flash in, but there's no damage. You're walking back in. The W, the heal, it's not enough. And Jim Cantori takes the kill. Now, hit points very low on both sides. Razzle Dazzle, he's just going to W on top of himself for the shield. Is that all that there is for this play for now? Sean Shum taking so much damage here on the bot side. The 50 caliber net doesn't work out. He walks up to the trap, but there's no damage, especially with the Eclipse tanking it up.
And it looks like it's another CS lead in the bot lane. Readable Rat.
Oh, he's just dead. No, he's not dead. The E isn't enough. The damage isn't enough. Razzle Dazzle's so low. Flash in from Dinsbag. There's nowhere to go. Dinsbag takes down the Yone. Okay, and more action. The flash in, but he missed. What the hell is going on? The jump in, the teleport. The damage is good. They take 2 kills, but John for you is there. A Kingsland is now so low, already trading kills.
Run,
Juan
Bard,
for you.
run.
At Kingsland, you have nowhere to go. There's no portal cooldown.
It's okay, he got the chime.
He got the chime, but he loses his life. Dinsbag going in now on Jim Cantori, but he doesn't have his ultimate for now. I'm so sorry, Balon. You're not going to get to talk because there's more action. Cataclysm incoming. Razzle Dazzle in. Reese's Species out. The Lilia, you don't have your ultimate yet. And Razzle Dazzle, and it's just a shutdown. University of Manitoba Brown take control again of this game. There's
Alright,
more
guys.
fighting, but nothing's gonna happen. Go ahead.
Are we done, guys?
I think we're
I
done.
really want to know if we're done. It's 8 minutes in. It's Cloud Drake has just spawned. We can chill. We can start farming. 8 minutes in. The CSing has just begun.
Absolute chaos, man. I don't even know what to say. Most of these, the only person that has like above 60 CS is the Yone and the Caitlyn. It's what a bloodfest. I couldn't have asked for a better game two here. Looking at this game state now, it's just a slight advantage for University of Manitoba. And it looks like they're actually looking for some kind of dive or something. No, okay, just walking into the jungle, I guess.
Yeah. And we were criticizing the Silas pick and the Echo pick, but it looks like they have found themselves a bunch of early kills. They have all of the solo laners on UMB have a shutdown, a bounty on their head. And Super Copium will probably be looking to get the shutdowns back. They need that gold.
They do need that goal claimed back, but here in the bot lane, it is still the Super Copium story. Dinsbag taken down very low here in the top lane. Good freeze there from the Jarvan. Love to see it. But yeah, in the bot lane, it's such a struggle. Pastel Ruby here, he's almost 40 CS behind, and that is not what you want to see.
And Breedable Rat is really good at setting up these freezes for his team. He's able to play solo in the bot lane, and he's able to have such a big advantage over Pastel Ruby, as we can see. Almost 40 CS, 45 CS at 9.5 minutes, as well as 2 kills. Wow, what a lead from Breedable Rat.
Massive advantage there. Couldn't have said it better. Shantrum was welting so much damage. And again, this 2v2 in the mid lane. See if anything happens. It looks like for now, both junglers just happy to help their laners clear the wave. And now, tricky part of playing into Caitlyn, you have to pick up this massive wave, but there is 700 something ranged champion just headshotting you from miles away. Oh, the Temper Fate was actually used, but it didn't hit the turret or any champions, just used on the wave. Most likely just wanted to hit the Tristana there for a trap combo. Did not hit, unfortunately, for them. And yeah, it looks like the bot lane, once again, being quite a big of a problem for University of Manitoba round, and it's going to cause them a dragon.
Yep. The bot lane prio was translated into the first Cloud Drake 10 minutes in. Looks like Ocean is going to be next, so either Infernal or Mountain Soul for this game. Good for both teams, really exciting souls. Two of my favorite.
I think they're two of everyone's favorites. Balan is, yeah, this very sleepy Echo is in a pretty dangerous spot now. No ultimate. That's going to be a shutdown towards the Yone. Potentially the worst person in the game to give a shutdown to.
Yep. I think that probably gave a really nervous feeling in UMB's stomachs. Seeing what he did with Akali last game, they really don't want gold on this Yone.
They certainly don't, but Dinsbag, he's here to try and make it even, but unfortunately the EQ combo just so strong with the Jarvan, being able to walk out of that one. Dinsbag just gonna spin to win, but not gonna spin anything really. As now you can see this Yone, he's roaming, he's using that priority, that push in wave, Reese's Pieces, he's just buying time for the Yone. There's no vision here. Dinsbag is in such a tough spot. There is nowhere to go. He doesn't have the flash. He's going for the trade. Here comes the Yone ultimate. Very good damage onto Dinsbag already, but Reese's Pieces is very low. He's going for the Niku back, but watch out. Yes, Dinsbag gets the 1-for-1. He almost gets both, but no, the Yone will manage to take the other one, but Razzle Dazzle is here now. E forward, Proto Belt with the Dark Harvest is going to take the kill. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Leona taken down.
Dinsbag. Really good performance by him. He was able to 2v1, almost 2v1, the Jarvan and the Yone without his ult, as we saw. Jarvan actually forced his ult out earlier on, but even without his ult, he was able to kill the Jarvan and get the Yone low enough for Razzle Dazzle to pick him up. So I'm wondering if Wukong has his ult, can he just be a 2v1 menace in the solo lane and just constantly put pressure on the Jarvan and force either a roam for the Lilia or from the Yone?
I certainly
Will he
think
continue
he
to
can.
put that pressure?
I certainly think he can. He didn't even have his flash either, and he didn't have to use it. Okay, the Juan for you is going in onto Jim Cantimore, but we doesn't know that there's a bot lane here on his lane, which he's definitely not going to be happy about. But here, University of Manitoba around, they're fancying themselves a Rift Herald, but I'm not sure that that's a good Rift Herald to take. They're stuck in the Cataclysm. The Echo ult is good, but the Lilia ult is as well going down. And now a very drowsy Echo is going to go down. You may have taken the Rift Herald, but you get a double kill.
What a wombo combo from Super Copium. The Jarvan ult into the Yone ult. Or was that a Yone ult? I think it was just a Yone tornado.
Yep.
But as we can see here, Jarvan
Yeah,
locks them up, the tornado comes through, and then Yone is able to farm his Qs on both Echo and Wukong. They trade 2v1, they get the Rift Herald, but I do think this is a win in Super Copium's favor.
Okay, well, we'll have to see if they manage to do well with that Rift Herald, really. That's what that play is going to depend on, as Yone just sitting here in this jungle. They know that they have control over here. There's no one here. Okay, trying to steal that one away, and he actually does manage to steal it. Den's back here. He's going to face check this very strong Yone. The Quan for you, he's going in, and so does Yone. He's going to use his E. Okay, the ultimate onto one. Razzle Dazzle, he's taken very low, and he's dead already. The shield bow is popped onto the Yone. He's taken down. He's being chased down. Dinsbag takes another kill. The Juan for you, very low. Last tick of the Ignite does not take him down. Dinsbag, he dodges onto the 50 caliber net. He uses the clone. They know that it's a clone, but they don't manage to take him down with that flash. Going to be able to get away. No lullaby means no ultimate, and Dinsbag might just be able to recall here.
Yeah, it looks like he will get that recall through. The Yone really going really ham in these fights, and he's sacrificing his life to get a lot of these ultimates off, but it doesn't look like Super Copium have the damage to finish off Wukong. And even Silas, it looks like he got away and managed to back with a sliver of HP.
Yep, absolutely. That last tick of the Ignite did not take him down. One thing that I think we can mention is that the Yone ultimate also, it's a tad early. The Zonia there, he was trying to get both at the same time, but he ended up casting it just a tad early, not managing to get both at the same time, which would have most definitely resulted in an extra kill there for Super Copium. Regardless of that, the Quan for you here and Yone going over at it again, but the Quan for you, he's taking so much damage. What is this champion? He's absolutely dead. There's no way out. Here comes Jim Cantori. He has his ultimate, but it isn't going to be enough. The damage is very solid. Sean Shroom now, he's all by himself. There's no damage. Just a Leona versus the world going to be kited out. Breedable Rat takes another kill. Here comes Razzle Dazzle onto this Yone, trying to make something happen, but this Yone is an absolute menace. What are you going to do when this ninja comes to you? Whoa. I don't think you can do anything. Q back. He's already dead.
And that's just the power of Yone right there. He's a champion that's able to. He's able to 1v1, 1v2. He's a very self-sustainable champion, and when he's put in the right hands, he can take a lead and run away with it. And that is what he's doing.
I mean, 100% is with that shield bow. He's so annoying to kill, and he just seems to always have something up. He has his W, he has his E, he has his Q3. Here comes the Q3, but the clone was already used, so I'm not going to be able to catch Dinsbag out right now. But now, with this absolute control that they have, this is most likely going to be the second Drake going down. And now, as we can see, it is the Mountain Soul.
Yep, the Mountain Soul is going to come through. And
okay, Pastel Ruby gonna get timed out here. Gonna get the Zonia. Oh, there's so much damage, and on the bottom side of the screen, the Yone ultimate hits too. Sean already goes down. Dinsbag, he's trying to go for a trade. He does get one, but he gets killed in exchange, and so does Razzle Dazzle. There's only the one for you left, and this was what you call an unnecessary team fight. 4 for 1 in favor of Super Copium.
Yep, and it looks like Super Copium are just deathballing around the map. They've got that Yone, they've got that Jarvan and that Bard portal, and they're able to just run around the map and pick UMB off whenever they please. Doesn't seem like UMB has any response for this fast-paced movement that Super Copium is doing.
Yeah, it's Super Copium engaging on their own terms with that Bard portal, with that Bard E, with the Yone ultimate. They have so many different ways to engage, as well as the Lilia. And on the side of University of Manitoba, something that we didn't talk about, they don't really have that much of an engage. They have the Yone ultimate stolen, or the Leona ultimate, and that's pretty much it. Here comes the portal, Sean Shroom. Here comes the lullaby. The damage is already so insane on this Lilia, 2 items, but here comes the teleport, the heal to save the Leona. And that is one very defensive teleport. And now it's turning into a 3v3, 3v4 now with the Wukong, but
The
the health
swirling
bars are
seed.
so low. The swirling seed, will it be enough to take the Leona out? No, it will not. Taken down very low for sure. Razzle Dazzle here is trying to find the parallel convergence, but he doesn't find it. And now this Yone is angry. He knows he already missed his most crucial ability, and he's already dead. The damage from the Yone is absolutely insane. Jim, he goes for the flash Q, and he finds it. Excellent damage there. Dinsback, he's going for a 1v1 in the mid lane in the meantime. This Jarvan 4, he's already put to sleep. The Lilia ult somehow already back up. Oh no, that was the stolen one. Anyways, Bard ult onto the turret, and it's just too easy. The Juan for you. He goes for the flash. He actually finds the trade kill, but it's still going to go in favor of Super Copium, with Pastel Ruby going down on the other side of your screen. Super Copium are running away with this game.
And this Yone, I have to keep bringing it back to him. In the fight versus Echo, as you can see, Echo didn't even have a chance to use his ultimate to get away from the Yone. Because this Yone, he times his Q3, his Tornado, to knock Echo up right as he gets low. And if Echo is airborne, he is unable to cast his ultimate. And that is when Yone executes and pops his E again. And he's able to pick up the
danger. Kill. Yeah, Reese is just a dead man here. It doesn't matter when you get another Rift Herald and another objective on the map. I'm not sure it does. As you said, absolutely beautiful play coming in from Jimmo, as this poor Bard is just waiting in base for some reason. Very cute.
For an item.
Yeah, it looks like he was just waiting for an item. As yeah, that's going to be another objective going over into the hands of Super Copium. And now all that it takes is one good ultimate. It's one good pick. The Baron into the game, but here comes Dinsbag. He's doing very decent amount of damage, but here comes the Yone ultimate. The damage is absolutely insane. The Echo ult is used. Jimbo, he has the third Q, and he's going to use it. The Caitlyn takes down the Echo, and now this poor Leona with nowhere to go steps on a trap, dead by Lilia, and now there's already 3 people down on the map, and Super Copium just came back. This game, it's just a formality. The flash in, the E, this is so aggressive coming in from Jimmo. The Yone ultimate stolen. He finally takes him down. He finally went a little too far, but it doesn't matter because it's still a 1-for-1 with the Rift Herald being dropped in the mid lane. What can University of Manitoba Brown do?
It looks like the gold lead is too big. Even if they find the shutdown on the Yone, I don't think it's going to do much for UMB.
They're looking for the engage. They're looking for something. They know that the Yone is down. This is their moment. That's 1 kill going for their way. Absolutely beautiful knockup from Dinsbag onto 3. They have the shutdowns. They have the resets, but can they go further? It doesn't look like they can. The flash in, the E, they don't find it. The Q from the Bard is good. Dinsbag is going through with the portal. So does Razzle Dazzle, but the Q and the Ignite. No, Dinsbag is gonna go down to a Kingsland. No, what a disaster. Trying to go too far and gets taken down by the Bard.
And Dragon is spawning in 15 seconds. That will put Super Copium on soul point if they do get that. 10 seconds on Jim and 2 seconds on Jarvan. He has the teleport. He can get back into bot side early and get some space, hopefully setting themselves up for soul point. Meanwhile, Yone is starting the Baron. Oh no, it looks like he's just queuing it.
Yeah, I mean, this guy is just playing around with his food at this point. He's gonna solo Baron.
It looks like he's soloing Baron right now.
He actually is. You are right. He is actually soloing Baron. Meanwhile, Super Copium are looking for this dragon. My question is, can Yone actually solo it? I'm not sure. No, okay, it looks like he's going to be rotating. Sean Shroom here, he's caught out. And yeah, the damage is just too insane. Razzle Dazzle, he's trying to protect his supporter just as best as he can, or maybe he's looking for the steal. He's looking for the steal. He's going in, but he doesn't find it. He actually finds the steal! It goes over to the blue team, but here comes the Yone ultimate onto 2. The damage is insane. Double kill instantly when he goes back to his E. The Kaylin ult takes down Razzle Dazzle. Dinsbag, he's going in for some kind of fight. Can they find some kind of turn back? Dinsbag, he's gonna go down on the second portion of the ultimate. The E forward, the Q, the damage is good. The Juan for you goes down, and that's the ace for Super Copium.
It's all Yone this game. He's fighting the flanks. It doesn't matter if they lose the dragon. Yone was able to get that flank ultimate. He took out the Tristana. He took out the Leona. And then together with his team, they're able to take out Dinsbag and Silas. There is nothing that UMB can do about this gold lead and this Yone at this point.
And
it
as
just
you
looks
can
like
see,
it's going to be Super Copium's game.
on the bottom left of your screen, Super Copium. They're walking into base. They don't even need a Baron. All they need is a gold lead and a mid laner, Super Copium. They do so much damage. The power of their wallets, the power of the LP is just too strong. They're playing around with their food at this point, one by one. They're diving into the Yone. They're diving into the Lilia, but it's not enough. They're just playing with their food. Please finish
They're
this
locked
game. I
in.
can't keep stalling forever. Please, Razzle Dazzle, DCs. Come on, you can do it. Yes,
They gotta
the
pass the
ace.
KD
They're gonna
ace.
finish their Nexus. Super Copium, 2-0 in this series. And man, what a series it was. What a mid laner. Absolutely incredible. Balon, I don't know what the hell was going on half of the time. I was just, I just kept talking. There was so much fighting all of the time throughout this series. My voice is about to die.
Yeah, what a bloodbath. Both of these teams, they had a rivalry. They had a rivalry top lane, and it looks like they had a rivalry mid lane because
That guy came
that
out with
Yon
vengeance.
yeah, he looked like he was taking names and he was taking over the game all by himself.
Absolutely insane performance by that mid laner that I still don't know how to pronounce his IGN, so I apologize.
Yes, we
But
do apologize.
man, insane performance. Absolutely insane. It is something to pop off on one game, but it's something else to pop off on 2 out of 2. Absolutely nuts performance. I mean, we can talk about Omnify backwards. Is that how his name is pronounced?
Omnify backwards.
Omnify. Oh, no, his name is actually Omnify backwards. Okay, well,
Oh,
however his IGN is supposed to be pronounced. I'll just call him Omnify, sure, why not? Omnify, my guy, for watching this stream. Absolutely beautiful performance. I will give out some shout out as well to the entire team. I think they played very well together as a team as well. The bot lane smashed it in CS both games. Yeah, do you have any like particular comments about this series or anything that we can talk about on the Red Bull analyst desk, of course?
of course. I think that mid lane is where the difference happened in this series. Omnify, now that we finally learned your name, we won't forget it. Your Akali performance, the Yone performance, you were all over the map and having impact, putting pressure in all of the right places.
Oh
Good
yeah,
stuff. Good
good
stuff
stuff
from Super
indeed.
Copium.
Clap, clap. Yeah, after this game, Super Copium will not be needing any Copium at all, as now they are moving on towards the finals, as far as I'm aware. So they're going to be, I don't know if we know already who they're playing against, but regardless, Super Copium advancing to the final stage, well deserved to be quite honest. And whoever's facing them, I mean, you've got so many bans on your hands. Yeah, they're going to be playing against the Bisons. Thank you, Kyron, our wonderful producer. So yeah, there are definitely some bands here that are gonna be like pretty much by default. I don't know. You're never letting the Twitch pass because their AD carry is a Twitch one trick. You're never letting Yone pass. I don't think at this point. Yeah, I mean, what a game. I don't even know what to talk about. There's so many things to talk about. Do you have
I
anything like specific?
I would like to point out Breedable Rat. In both of the games on bot lane, he had a really dominant performance. He was able to mount a big CS lead. He was playing versus really aggressive picks. If in the first game he was playing as Kog'Maw Lulu, in the second game he was on the Caitlyn, and in
Yeah,
both games, I think at like 15 minutes in the second game he had double of Tristana's farm,
yeah.
and that is not an easy lead to get.
Oh, especially when you're not on your main champion.
Exactly.
Absolutely insane performance there from Breedable Rat. Rename yourself to Prominent and Dominant, my dude, because that's exactly what you did. No, I'm just
A dominant performance by Breedable Rat.
I just can't help myself to make these bad jokes. But anyways, regardless of that, do we want to have like some honorable mentions here before we pass on to like an MVP vote? I will say I do think that the jungler on the side of Dinsbag's team did play okay. I think Dinsbag had a pretty
Razzle
decent
Dazzle.
performance. Yeah, Razzle Dazzle, very decent performance there, and Dinsbag really gave it his all. I mean, I love Dinsbag's play style. He's always going in. He's always looking for the opportunities. It's just that maybe these two games were just a little too difficult.
He's a true born showman, Natural. He's
I would
here to put
agree.
on a show for me and you, and all of us watching.
And he certainly did. He certainly did. It's just that the show was maybe just a tad stronger than that Akali play, man. I will never forget that. Absolutely insane play. Regardless of that, after our honorable mentions, do we have any MVP votes here before we end?
I would have to go with Omnify.
Yeah. Really, it's I mean, what is there? What is more to be said? Omnify MVP for me as well. Okay, so now that we have out of the way, beautiful series there, 2-0 from Super Copium. Yeah, it's really bot lane CS dominance, mid lane outplays heal check. Top lane I wasn't that impressed with, I'll say that, but I mean it really didn't matter to be honest. That being said, right before we close, I'll give another shout out to our sponsors who are of course sponsoring this entire thing. We'll start off with Powerland, who are giving us the opportunity to give us 144 hertz monitors for this competition. Whoever wins tomorrow will get them. So that's pretty cool. And then we, of course, have Jack.org, wonderful mental health or institution. You should check them out. Red Bull, No Frills, Brooklyn Bodega, and C'est La Bean. That being said, I believe this is our last best of three for today, since this is semifinals and there's another semifinals that's going on concurrently. So that being said, thank you so much for coming. And yeah, I was natural. I was my friend Balon. Big round of applause for him. It was actually his first time casting. So yes, thank you so much for coming. You did great. And that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow.